Okay, how many times as a kid did you hear you need to make a budget? But how do you actually make that budget worthwhile? And the best part here, how do you stick to it? We're joined on this Money Monday by Christy Zaudke, Vice President of Branches at Mountain America Credit Union. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, number one, to get a budget, but number two, you got to stick to it.
Sure. And some people feel it's really burdensome, but if you compare it to planning a trip or planning an event and you just want things to be prepared and things to go great, you'll see why it's important to have a budget.
So how do we start?
Well, first thing you do is take inventory. So figure out how much you're bringing in, your income from anywhere that it could be coming in, and then create a list for your bills. So your mortgage or rent, your credit cards, your loans, and subtract the two. And that gives you a starting point. Then dig a little bit deeper. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of things like groceries and clothing. So pay attention to those details. And last but not least, don't forget yourself. Some people tend to go extreme and completely cut themselves out of the budget, but know that you should save a little money in there for some fun times for yourself.
I always hear, too, in making a budget, that you should always pay yourself first.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
Yes. Put some money in savings because you never know when you're going to need it.
Okay, so let's say I'm doing my budget, I'm getting it all together, but I have all these accounts stashed everywhere. How do you kind of streamline that?
So one of the best tools out there is a personal financial management website, and there's a few. There's Mint and Wisebread, but Mountain America has an amazing one called My Money Manager, and it really allows you to put together all of your accounts, your credit cards from other places, other financial institutions, and really bring them together so you can categorize, chart, graph every single penny that you've earned and spent.
Now, how do you make sure that it's a habit, that you're going to stick to it? Because that's so important.
It's so important, but it's easy. And these tools actually help you set long-term goals, track your spending, categorize it, so you can visualize where you're blowing your budget at.
Okay, so where do we go to find this?
Any Mountain America branch or at macu.com.
Christy, as always, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Do your budget. I sound like my mom, don't I? Christy, thanks. Andrew.
Yeah.